Good morning everyone, it's Tuesday the 21st of November. Welcome to another one of Alan's Angling Adventures. We're back up the Chesstream again today for another roving chub session. Hopefully we can winkle one out. We did last time, we got one of £3, which was a beautiful fish, really was. So I'm really looking forward to this one today. We've got about 7 or 8 swims to go at. I might do a couple of different swims today that I didn't do the last time, but we'll wait and see on that. Time wise it's 25 to 10. I'm here till about 3 o'clock, no later than 3 really. Starts getting dark early now, and I have to ride home from here. It's about an hour and 3/4 ride for me up here, but so I don't really want to, I don't want to leave too late today. So 3 o'clock. Bait wise we've got bread and we've got worms, no maggots. I've got mashed bread to put in and a little bit of ground bait added to it to give it a bit of a smell, because it's still slightly on the coloured side. Not as much as it was last time, but it is still slightly on the coloured side. As I say, about 7 or 8 swims to go at. I might have a cup of tea now before I start actually. It's 25 to 10 and I'll see you down on the bank in the very first swim. So I'll see you in a minute. See how we get on. What I've done, I've baited the first 3 or 4 swims up again with mashed bread. So we didn't get any bites in this swim when we fished it last time. All the bites I did get were under the trees further up where I've made my base. But you've got to try these swims. There's 1 or 2 others that I didn't do last time that I might go for today as well. Really enjoyed that last time. Nearly 10 to 10 now. So once I get back up there where my gear is, I'll have a cup of tea then. I had that chub, but I also lost a fish right at the end, which definitely wasn't a chub. So I just caught a glimpse of it, and I kept thinking about that, you know, because I think it was either a roach or a rudd. If it was decent. It was a decent one. It really was, which tells me that there could be some nice roach and rudd in here, which is interesting. So I've got no idea what else is in here, apart from I think there's trout in here, brown trout. I think there is anyway, or there used to be. Whether they're still in here or not, I don't know. A bit like the Honeybridge stream really. So what we'll do, just like last time, we'll give it 10-15 minutes in each swim, unless I'm getting indications, bite indications. If that's the case, then I'll stay a bit longer. But basically about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes in each swim, because the time then half go quick. Yeah, once again I'm just underneath that willow tree where those branches of the willow tree are hanging down. I'm just under there. I say the second swim we'll fish, which I've baited up, is again on that bend there. I just had a pull then, or it could be. I'm not sure if it's a fish or not. I don't think it is actually. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was. So what we'll do, we'll give it a couple of chucks on the worm, on the lob worm, and then we'll change over to a bit of bread flake, and we'll do that in each swim. So that we've, you know, made sure then that we've gave ourselves, you know, every chance on both baits, because you never know what they're going to be taking on the day. Normally, I mean, bread flakes normally absolutely brilliant, as I say, but you know, there are days when they take worms and not the bread. So same setup again, the Omni Feeder Rod. £6 line straight through, size 8 Korda circled hook. Right, looked like a bite then. It's still there as well. Just a few taps. This is on bread flake now. Definitely a bite. Still in the first swim. I'll just leave it for a bit. It's definitely tapping on bread flake. Whether it's a chub or not, I don't know. It's a magical time of the year, this now, isn't it, with all the different coloured leaves and that. The golds, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the greens, beautiful. There was definitely something there just now. Well, the bread was off, so I was going to move out to the second swim, but I'm not going to yet, because I've got some bites there, definitely some bites there. I'm going to give it another go. Time there's a bit of interest, it's worth staying, definitely. So I'm probably not going to get back in this swim, so I might as well make the most of it now while I'm here. So if I wasn't getting any indications at all, I would definitely have moved into the second one by now, but I'll give it another couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes here now, and then we're moving to swim number 2. Right, it doesn't appear to be anything in this one, so I'm gonna reel in, and we're gonna move round to swim number 2. So I'll see you there in a minute. Get ourselves sorted out here. Well, I've had some taps in this swim. This is still swim number 2. But nothing's materialised from it yet. I don't know whether they're chub or not, I'm not sure. But they are just taps. So I'm a bit reluctant to leave this swim at the moment, just in case. Imagine living in that house up there with this at the bottom of your garden. God, blimey, that would be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? There we go, there's a bite there. Definitely a bite. This is on worm. That was definitely a bite. Didn't really look like a chub bite, but you never know. It was tugging at it. That's why I'm a bit reluctant to leave these swims at the moment just here, because I am getting bites, but they're not, you know, the proper wrap round bites that you get with chub. They're taps and pulls. Well, I've definitely had a bit of interest in these first two swims, but I'm going to move around to swim number 3 now. I can always come back to these two if I want to. So I'll see you round in swim number 3. Right, this is swim number 3. This is the one where we've got that log, that tree, that fallen tree, going from one side of the bank to the other, stretching right across the stream down there. I've started off on lobworm on this one. So far, summary of the session. I've done 2 swims and I've had bites in both swims, but nothing concrete. So I do think the conditions are good, you know, overcast, well, cloudy, a lot of variable cloud, high pressure's building today, so the sun's probably going to come out later on, I think. Surprising how strong the current is in this little stream, really. I say depth wise, I'm not too certain, but I'd say it's probably about 3 foot. Once again, just like last time, I'll be absolutely over the moon if I can just pick one up. I'm not sure if that's a bite or not. See, because what's happening is the bait is going underneath that tree. It's being taken underneath it. So, you know, there's plenty of pulls on the rod tip, but I don't think it's fish. What I like about this rod in particular is that it's so sensitive. Now, the slightest pull, slightest touch on there from a fish and it does show up. Of course, the more you do this type of fishing, the more you can, you know, the more you know whether it's a bite or whether it's debris or the current pulling it. we'll give it another 5 or 10 minutes here. We'll try bread flake in a minute, and then we'll move on to the next one, which I think, if I remember rightly, around the corner there is under the trees where my bike and all my gear is, where I caught that chub before. Right, swim number 4, I believe this is. I've never fished this one. We're just round the corner from that last swim. So give this one a go. You have to watch these banks are a bit slippery. Well, it's nearly 5 to 11 now, so we'll do this swim and then we'll have a cup of tea after this. The old rod tip's moving to and fro. I think that is the current. Well, I've been fishing for about an hour and 10 minutes. Nothing at the moment. I have to say thank you to all of those of you that have subscribed to my channel. I've hit the 200 now. I'm on 205, so I'm well pleased with that. So thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Let's hope I can catch one today. Plenty of swims we can go at, and we've still got those swims to go next. The ones where I caught before, where I had bites, where I had that chub last time. That's just up a little bit further. I thought I'd try a couple of swims out which I haven't tried before, because you never know, you know. Really pleasant place to come fishing, this is up here. So with the rivers still over their banks are up, you know, way up and across the fields in a lot of places on this river. These are the ideal places to come. And of course this time of the year now it's, you know, real chub season now, isn't it? But I will give it a go on the float up here. with some maggots. So I want to see what else is up here. I'm just letting it run down there. It's gone down there. Haven't had any bites in this swim yet, so I'm going to give it another couple of minutes and then we'll move into swim number 5. So unless anything happens here, I'll see you in swim number 5. Right, we're in swim number 5. Let's see how we get on here. We're not far away from the swim where I had that chub the last time. Right, start off on bread flake. We've even got Father Christmas on the loaf this time, so even he's in on the act. Right. What we got here, we've got a just over that far side there. Although it's running through, it's it looks more enticing over there. I have to have the rod up very high on this one. So there's a real current running through here. Oh, a cup of tea. I look forward to this. The reason I got the rod up high is because of the current running through. It's quite a powerful current. If you have it down low, it's going to affect it more. It's going to pull the rod tip around a lot more. You don't really want that if you can help it. I mean, it still does it to a certain extent, but not anywhere near as much. You're able to pick the bites out better. So this is swim number 5, and we've probably got about another 4, roughly speaking, about another 4 swims to go. So actually it's more than what I said. Loads of spots up there you can try. As I said last time, there's not enough hours in the day to fish them all, you know. Yeah, I was so close to beating my PB on that chub. All it wanted was ½ ounce over and I would have beaten it, but it wasn't. It was bang on 3. As I say, I was just as intrigued by the fish I didn't get, the one right at the end, which I said earlier wasn't a chub, but I think it might have been either a roach or a rudd. If it was, then it was a decent one, decent size. as I say, I must have a float session up here. Might even, the next one might even be a session on the Waggler up here. And it is these swims here which look quite enticing with a float. I do think it seems to be running through a bit quick over there in this swim, so I might not stay in this one too long. Well, we're in swim number 5 now. 5 or 6, I'm not sure, I've lost count. Well, nothing to report at the moment. 25 to 12. I haven't had no bites at all in these last 2 or 3 swims I've fished. I was wondering, say for example you had 10 swims to go at, just as an example, you had 10 swims to go at. I wonder what the chances are of getting a chub in each swim. That would be unbelievable. Or is that just being silly? Yeah, nothing yet. I think the next swim will be the one where I had that chub from last time. Well, I've put a worm on and straight away I'm getting bites. But they're more sort of plucks and pulls. Go. And it's not likely to be on there, I don't think. It shows there are fish down there. Right, it doesn't appear to be anything happening here either. So we're going to move round now into the swim where I caught that chub the last time. So I'll see you there in a minute. Right, we're now in the swim where I had that 3-pound chub from the last time. So let's see how we get on here. I have baited this up. It could be one of those days, it could be a blank, who knows. Hope not, sincerely hope not, but still got plenty of time. These trees here, just got to flick it out. Be very careful. I'm going to get sneaked up here. That's not really where I want it. It's not really where I want it. I'll leave it there for now, but it's not really where I want it. So I'll leave it there for a few minutes and just see, because you never know. It's not where I want it at all. I've got to get it where I want it. It's no good half measures. Try it again, Alan. Try it again. Let it down a bit. Still not perfect. Still not perfect where I had it before. But it's nearly 12 o'clock now, nothing to report at all. Been fishing for about 2 hours and 10 minutes and all I've had really is a few plucks. I've definitely had bites, but not I say nothing concrete at all. No, just sort of a few pulls and plucks. Well, it's a bit of a struggle up to now, I must admit. Not getting any bites at all, nothing. So apart from those first couple of swims I fished this morning where I had a few, a few pulls, that's been about it really. This is probably, I don't know, probably roughly around the 7th or 8th swim that I fished. I've still got a few more to go at, but so just because you caught one the last time in a certain swim doesn't mean you're going to get one the next time, does it? I haven't tried worm here yet though, so I think I will try worm here before I move on to the next one. So really are chubby looking swims though. Right, so I think we're gonna bring this in, put a worm on, because there's nothing happening on this at all. The bread's still on there, look. Let's try that. Right, nothing in that swim, so we move on to the next one. And this is what you've got to keep doing until hopefully you might just drop in on something, or it might just be one of those days today. I think this is swim, we'll call it swim number, I don't know, 9. Even if it isn't, it's somewhere around that. I know I've done a fair few. So this is why I'll be delighted just to get one. I really will. I do think my next session, I'm coming up here again on my next session, but it's going to be with the float and some maggots, and we'll see what we can catch up here. It'll be interesting to see, you know, because it looks pretty good for float fishing up here on this, especially on this stretch. And then after that, I've got some other places to go to for a roving chub session. As I said to you before, I've got several places to try that I've never fished before on this river, on the river. Of course, this is a tributary of the River Ada, the Chesstream. It's quite cold. It is quite cold today, I must admit. So it's coming from the north. And it's supposed to be turning a fair bit colder by the weekend, I believe. I just wonder if this winter, because we're way overdue for one, whether this winter's going to be a proper winter. Well, this is about the 10th swim now. I certainly have done a few. You've got a bit of a raft over there. I'm fishing up next to that, or as close to it as I can get, with bread flake. So it could be one of those days today where we're not going to get anything at all. Not sure if it was or not. I'm not sure if that was a bite or not. Could have been. Only tapping if it was. Definitely tapping. The thing is, you see, with a size 8 hook, if it's not a chub, if it's something smaller, the chances of getting it are slim, aren't they? Well, definitely something there. Is it on there? It is. No, it ain't. It was. I could feel it. Small stuff. I've taken half the worm. Right, let's try bread flake. Well, didn't get it, whatever it was. But it was small stuff, I'm pretty sure of that. I've got bread flake on there now. just had my dinner. It's nearly 1 o'clock. We've still got 2 hours left to try and winkle one out. So the next swim I'm going to is a swim I haven't fished before. It's on a bend just before you get to the weir. So nearly all the bites I've had, apart from maybe one, most of them have been on worms, and they've all been sort of taps and pulls. So I imagine they're, you know, roach or something, whatever. I do want to give it a go next time I'm here on the float with maggots, and we'll see what we can pick up. It'll be interesting, that. So as I say, I don't know what else is in here. I'd imagine there's roach and rudd in here, or certainly roach anyway. Whether there's any perch in here or not, I don't know. It does look perchy. Right, I think we're going to give it a go on the next swim, which will be the last one, which will be something like swim number 10 or 11. I'll see you up there in a minute. Right, we're in swim number 11 and we'll give it a go here. So there you've got the weir. We're on a bend here. It's very shallow with a lot of weed just under the surface out there, but there is a channel down here which is of deeper water. I want to give it a go down there. We'll start off on bread flake. Well, still nothing. 20 past 1, so we've got about an hour. I'm probably going to start packing up about 2:45, 10 to 3. It's 20 past 1 now, so I've probably got about another hour and 20 minutes, something like that, to try and save the day, try and save a blank. And that's me opening up my big mouth, I think, on the last video when I said I've done well, really. Whenever I've had a roving session for chub, I've always caught one of some size, anything, you know, I've always caught a chub of any size, you know, I've always had one. But I think I've spoke too soon. It looks like this one. Although you never know. I mean, I remember that one on the Honeybridge stream where I had one right at the end. That was brilliant. That was right at the end. I winkled one out. But I don't know. I just don't get the feeling today that I'm going to get one. Got a nice big lobworm on there at the moment, but doesn't seem to be making any difference. We will try in a swim I fished last time, which was is that a bullet? Which is near the weir, itself. You'll probably recognise it when you see me fishing it. But it's quite turbulent there, that's the only thing. But we'll give it a go there. If nothing happens here, I'll see you along in the next one. This is the last swim I'm going to try before I go back to where my base is, where I got all my gear. under those trees, and we'll finish off under there again. As you can see, we've got the weir. It's quite turbulent here, but you never know. I can't get down there. Well, I can get down there, but I tried it last time and I got absolutely plastered in all this soft mud down there. You sink in it. That's why I'm having to set up on high on the bank here. So I've got lobworm on at the moment. We'll give it a go on bread flake in a minute, and then that will be it before I go back to the Last Chance Saloon. All I want is one chance, one real chance from a chub, and I'll have to take it if I get it. Because there's still possibility. I still could. I've got about an hour and 10 minutes left. Quite turbulent, the end of the rod tips bending around. Well, been nothing here either, so what I'm going to do, I've decided, if you remember rightly, when I came here last time, there was a swim I fished that I told you I saw 6 or 7 chub at Easter time just sitting there in the middle. Well, I fished it last time and I never had a single bite there. I'm going to give it another go there and see how we get on. Nothing to lose now. We're into the last hour now, so I'm really clutching at straws at the moment, to be honest. But yeah, we'll go up there and we'll see how we get on. It really is Last Chance Saloon, really. Right, I say, this is the swim. I fished it last time, I never got a single bite, but this is also the swim where I saw that group of chub just sitting there, and they were chub. You could clearly see them because it was so shallow and clear that particular day. Right, let's kick off with bread flake. See how we get in here. It's not the fact that I haven't caught anything that's been, you know, it's so much. It's the fact I just haven't had many bites, to be honest. And I think this looks a really good swim. This, as I say, you've got the main flow of the river or the stream over the far side, and this bit of slack out in front, which is where they were sitting. But as I said to you last time when I fished here, don't mean they're going to be here now, obviously. But I'd be surprised if there ain't no fish on this bend. I do think though, if I had the float here, I think I'd catch something. That's the way I'm going to go on the next one, just to see what it's like here. It's nice when you do, if you're going to catch, it's nice when you do catch early on, really, because then you know you haven't blanked then. But mind you, it's equally nice when you think you're going to blank and then you just finally pull one out right at the end. Well, that wind's dropped right down now. It's a really dull and miserable looking day, but I would have said it was, you know, pretty good for chub fishing myself. Just what you want, really. It's not looking like it, is it? Yeah, I'm really surprised that, you know, I'm not getting any bites at all of anything in this swim, because it looks, you know, right, first off you're on a bend, right, and you've got the current over the far side, it's like it's in two halves, and then this half over this side is slack. So you've got it all ready, you've got a bend, you've got the current over there, and you've got the slack here. And yet there's not any sign of any on worm or bread, not even any taps. I am surprised. So we'll give it, what's it, nearly 2:05. We'll give it another 5 minutes here. If there's nothing here, we'll end up the last 20 minutes under the trees where my bike is, where I had that chub before. So if nothing else happens here, I'll see you down there. Right, this is my last opportunity to get something. We're back in the swim again, where I had that chub last time. The last 25 minutes of fishing. We'll try and save the day. Right. Right, see how we get on now. If I pulled one out now, mate, I'd go flipping nuts. I would, because I haven't looked like catching one. Apart from the first two swims I fished, as I say, when I had some bites there, some taps. Apart from that, I haven't looked like catching one in any of the other swims. That's fishing though, isn't it? You know, last time it was brilliant, you know, catching that chub. But it doesn't mean you're going to get one, you know, every time. Yes, I definitely will be up here again on the next one, possibly next week. If not next week, the week after, but possibly next week. On the float with some maggots, and we'll see how we get on. Then I will rove around in a few different swims, but we'll try it with the float and maggots and just see what we can pick up. Oh, there's a bite. That was a bite, and it's still there as well. Still there. Oh. This would be amazing if I saved the day with this. It's a chub. It is a chub. Oh, it's a nice one as well. Yes! Oh my God, I've done it again. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. Jesus Christ. Right at the end, right at the death. God, I've got about 20 minutes to go. Oh, flipping hell, mate. Whew. It's not a bad one. Don't think it's as big as the last one, but who cares? It's still a nice chub though. Right. Oh, flipping brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Right, let's get myself sorted out here. Right. Yes, I've done it. Christ, with 20 minutes to go, I've done it. I don't believe it. Right, okay. Let's get her unhooked and then I'll show it to you in a minute. Fish of £2 2 oz. I managed to pull it out right at the end. Unbelievable. In the same swim as I caught the one before. Not quite as big, I say £2 2 oz this one, but my God, it's so welcome. I really thought a blank was on. I really did. The only chub bite I've had on bread flake today, and I've nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Brilliant. Great stuff. Well, once again, I'm going to let her go a bit further up, because I will, just before I go, give it one more go down there. I'm not going to get one, I don't think, but you never know. So I'm going to get her back pretty quick. I'll see you in a minute. Well, it's unbelievable, isn't it? That's fishing, isn't it? I really thought it was a dead duck today. I really did. Never give up, Al. Never give up. Because you never know. We'll give it another go here. Couple of casts here before we call it a day. I'm well pleased with that now. I haven't blanked. Glad I didn't lose it as well. Right, let's put it more or less in the same spot again. Don't think there's hardly any chance at all. I wouldn't have said, well, very, very slim anyway, of getting a second one here. Oh, I made the right decision though, didn't I, to come back here to finish off here. I really did, because there was no sign of any bites here earlier. Bread flake does it again. God, hit the nail. I say you get as much pleasure really getting one right near the end as you do at the beginning. Although if you get one at the beginning of the session, it's a relief to know that you've at least caught. But to leave it late like this, I mean, this reminds me of the Honeybridge stream, a session I had up there, where I caught right at the death, and this is exactly the same. This was right at the death, because I've really only got another 10 minutes to go, and then I'm packing up. It's 2:30 now. It's amazing, isn't it? I was saying to you earlier about whether, you know, would it be possible to fish 10 different swims and have a chub from each swim? You know, obviously it is, but well, I've fished about 12 today, 11 or 12 swims, and I've just managed to get that one out right at the end, right at the end. Certainly is proving to be a good swim for me, this one, That's twice in a row now in the same spot. As I say, to have two in the same spot, 2 sessions running, I mean, it tells you've done it. I think that this particular stretch here, they do hang out, because it's very shady here, dark, shady, secluded, and that's what they seem to like. I kept thinking when I was playing it, don't lose it, you know, don't lose it for Christ's sake, you know, because the one I caught last time was well hooked. This one, when I went to take it, when I went to unhook it from the net, the hook was already out. So, you know, you can certainly see the, you know, when it's a positive chub bite. Well, I'm so delighted with that. I was happy to get in that one as I was the last one, to be honest, because of the nature of the way the session's gone. You know, it hasn't, you know, it really has been very quiet. I think what I'll do, I'm going to give it one more chuck, and then I'm going to call it a day. Well, one of the truest things I've heard about, you know, chub fishing since I've been doing it, which ain't that long, is you're very, very unlikely to get a second one in the same spot. And how true that is, really is, you know. It's you soon find that out if you're new to chub fishing and this sort of thing, this sort of fishing. You soon find that out pretty quick yourself, that once you've had one in that spot, that is normally it. I've never had two yet from the same spot, but of course you can still catch in the same spot in a different session, obviously, but not on the same, not in one session. Right, I think that is my lot now. I've caught what I set out to catch. My God, though, I left it late. I really did leave it late. Oh my God, it's another bite. It's another one. Oh, well, I'm not going yet. That was a chub bite, definitely. I thought I had it. Right, it's still chub down there. Jesus Christ, I thought I had that, a second one in the same spot. If I'd just left it a bit longer, just a bit longer, I would have had that. Oh my, just sitting here telling you about getting a second one in the same spot, and I nearly go and do it. I've nearly gone and done it. That was unbelievable, wasn't it? Nearly got a second one. Nearly got a second one. I should have got it. If I just waited a bit longer, I probably would have had that. I just took it a little bit too soon. I wasn't to know, but God, after me just sitting here telling you about very rarely get two chub in the same spot, one after the other, and I nearly gone and done it. I was going to pack up. I will pack up in a minute. I must give it a few more minutes. I've got to give it a few more minutes just to see, because obviously there's definitely another chub down there. Unbelievable. What a last half an hour. After a pretty uneventful session until the last half hour, where I could have had two. Probably should have had two. Well, it's 3 o'clock now. I've packed up, or virtually packed up. on what's been a very strange session, really. Well, one that could have been very, very average, with nothing much happening in it at all, really, as far as bites were concerned. I say I just had a few bites in the first 2 swims I fished, swim 1 and swim 2, and that was basically it. And I've fished about 12 different swims today, but really have had nothing then up until the last 20 minutes when I've come back here in the swim I caught that chub last time, and blow me, I blooming picked one up at £2 2 ounces. And then 10 minutes later in the same swim, exactly the same swim, I had a chance to get a second one, but I didn't take it. I missed it, blooming missed it. Definitely a chub, because the rod tip's gone like that, exactly the same as the one before, and I've pulled into it, and as I've started reeling, it's not on there. Unbelievable. Still, just shows you that's fishing, innit? You know, you never quite know until the very end. It's like a football match, innit? Never give up until the final whistle. And it's the same with fishing, because you know, you never know. And it is a very dark, dull old day with a little bit of drizzle in the air now. Well, I'm going to make my way back now, because it's just gone 3 o'clock, and it takes me about 1 hour and 3/4 to ride home from here. So, and it gets dark early now. So all I can say is thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did, especially towards the end. I would have stayed here a lot longer, I really would have done, but I better get back, I better get going. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your own angling. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and pressing the like button, very much appreciated. And as I say, the next session will be up here again, possibly next week or the week after, on the float with maggots, just to see what we can pick up in here. So I look forward to that. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.